Hey everybody, welcome back to Venture Outdoors with Kurt. Today's video is a recipe for smoking a turkey breast. And I'll show you how I brined it or what I brined it in and how I doctored it up and what I used throughout the smoking process. If you haven't tried a wild turkey this way, you might want to try it. It really comes out nice and tender. So if you like this video, don't forget, hit that subscribe button please. Hit that thumbs up, hit that bell notification, and we'll see you in the next one. God bless, take care. These are the breasts from my turkey this year. I already brined these before I put them in the freezer and vacuum sealed them, so they were ready to go when I ended up getting all the rest of my ingredients. And this is the brine that I used. Any brine will work, whichever one you like. I just let it sit in the fridge overnight in that brine, then rinse it off. All I did is I separated the tenderloin from the rest of the breast. I'm going to do something different with those. I just wanted the breast to marinate and throw in the smoker. So beside the marinade, the brine that I used, I was trying to think of something else just to give it a little bit more flavor, something sweet. So I had an apple. I use Fuji apples. And just put some slices in there when I rolled it up, so I had a little bit more flavor to it. Then I wanted to doctor up one of the breasts with something else, just another seasoning, so I ended up using this seasoning here. Tried to give it a little bit more flavor. I wanted to see a comparison. So the other breast will just have the apple with the brine and no additional seasoning. And I wanted one plain and then just one with a little bit different flavor to it to try. Then all I do is you have to have something to give it a little bit of fat because they are very lean. There's not a lot of fat in these, hardly at all. So you need something to keep them from drying out. So a lot of recipes will call for bacon. I just wrap the bacon. You can do a weave pattern however you want. Just get some bacon around it. That way it has a little bit of fat to it. Now I've done the weave pattern with the bacon in the past. It looks really cool, but you use a lot of bacon for it, and I just don't think it's necessary. All I want is just a little bit of a pattern to it so you cover the whole thing and you don't have some big bare spots. So then just set them on a cookie sheet or a dish, and then I'll cover them and set them in the refrigerator. At this point, you could cover them with a little bit of honey, brush some honey or maple syrup on them. I end up doing it just before I put them in the smoker, and then you can baste them occasionally throughout the process. This is the next morning. I just pulled them out of the refrigerator. I'm going to drizzle some maple syrup on there and just rub it on top. You could add some additional seasoning on top if you want. I didn't. Personal preference. All I want to do is just let these come up to room temp before I put them in the smoker anyways. And here they are. I had them in the smoker. I used cherry wood, left them in there about 3 hours at 200 degrees. I started it at 180 degrees just to warm everything up. After the first hour, I just bumped it up to 200 and it came up to temp. Now this will be personal preference, but I take it out with a temp around 145 to 150 and let it rest. Like I noted before, there's very little fat in these, so they will dry out really quick. I would rather play it safe and take them out a little bit early and just let them rest to finish off rather than take a chance on overcooking them. Like I said, I used cherry wood this time. I have apple in the past. I've used mesquite in the past. Just trying to try something a little bit different. Dang, those look good. These make some great sandwiches. Now, if you had a slicer, which I don't, this would be another great reason to use a slicer. Slice it really thin for sandwiches. Now, you definitely want to save your bacon. This was a plain bacon. Wasn't like a smoked hickory or anything like that. When I first put it on there, it wasn't maple cured or anything. Just a plain bacon. But now that it had some smoke flavor put to it, this will taste awesome. This bacon will be used for, just breakfast with some eggs or something like that, or BLTs. It will have really good flavor for that. You got to try it. It works really good. I'm just cleaning this up a little bit, taking the apples out of it, making sure there's nothing on there that's going to be real grizzly or anything like that. But through the process, anything that's left in there usually just pulls apart. Now this is where I wish I did have a slicer. It would be really nice just to set that on there and slice this stuff real thin for sandwiches, but I'll just try to cut it up into some pieces here. But you can see how tender that is. It just pulls right apart. So that's about it. I'm just going to finish slicing this up. If you had a slicer, like I said, that would be awesome, but slice it up however you want, whatever you're going to use it for. If you haven't tried something like this with a wild turkey breast, you should give it a try. You can see how moist this turns out. I don't think you'll be disappointed. And there it is. That looks so good, I think I'll make a sandwich.